Coinbase are launching their own layer 2 blockchain. Let's talk about it. Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Wajahat. Today we are going to talk about something very exciting. It was just announced yesterday, and that is Coinbase and Base. They've decided to build their new layer 2 blockchain. They're joining the layer 2 space. This was an announcement that came out yesterday by the Coinbase team. So what actually is it? Well, it's a layer 2 roll-up. It is an optimistic rollup because it's actually built with the Optimism stack code base. So essentially, it's a fork of the Optimism chain. And their goal is to basically onboard the next 1 billion users into kind of Web3. And this is pretty exciting because Coinbase, as I'm sure many of you know, have a big user base, 100 million plus verified users, and they have very good on ramps, and I think with that they'll be able to integrate into DeFi and some of their various things on chain very easily. So it's going to bring a lot more users on chain, and I've written this thread here where I kind of talk about some of the benefits here. So obviously the main things are, this is a layer 2 built with Optimism, so it's secured by Ethereum, so we're going to have security there. It's going to be fairly scalable and transactions will be pretty cheap, and that's kind of what you want, and that's kind of why we've seen the rise of Arbitrum and Optimism and why they've done so well. It's going to be integrated with Coinbase products, and that, as I mentioned, with fiat on-ramps is going to be very good. Very easy for people to just log into their Coinbase account and then very easily kind of get those funds on chain. And like I said, they've got 100 million plus verified users already. Now, of course, 100 million people aren't using Coinbase right now. But they do have the users there, they've got the data there, and they will be able to attract millions of new users on chain, and that's kind of what we want really. We want kind of new money coming into the space to kind of appreciate all the amazing things that we have on chain. Of course it's EVM compatible, so it's going to be very easy for developers to basically move their apps from Ethereum, Arbitrum, Optimism onto Base as well. So hopefully we're going to see some of the cool innovative DeFi stuff that we see on those other chains here on Base as well. It's going to be permissionless, so you don't need to log in with your account. You can use your wallet as normal, and the aim is that it will become slightly more decentralized. I mean, we don't know how it is going to be, but that is the aim. And of course Coinbase can then create their own products on top of Base as well. I think some other benefits as well that I was just thinking of is that they do have an ecosystem fund, and so they are going to fund new products, new projects, new teams, new ideas, and ultimately that means there will be lots of new stuff coming out. There will be lots of projects, lots of new coins, and that means lots of potential profits for us to make. So I think there'll definitely be some sort of narrative coming around the Base blockchain really. We'll see lots of new coins, and probably lots of meme coins as well, but let's see kind of how it goes. There was an interesting feature as well that was in the documentation, that developers can actually set up gasless transactions, and for me I think that's a game changer, because that really removes some of the friction behind getting people on chain. I think one of the reasons why it is so difficult to get people on chain right now is because it's still a bit of a tech savvy thing to do. You have to create a wallet, then you have to put you need to fund it with gas. You need to know kind of how to do a transaction. You have to sign things. It's very complicated at times, and I wish it could be easier. Even things like managing your own wallet with your keys, it's as important as it is still a bit difficult. It's not the easiest thing to do. So hopefully things like this can remove some of those friction boundaries there that stop people from using things on chain, and I think that's a good thing. And then I also came up with the idea that real world assets on chain are going to be a big thing as well. Coinbase has KYC data on users, so they're going to allow obviously a select few users who are KYC to use kind of some of these real world asset products, and I think that makes it very easy. I think Coinbase are very they're going to promote these two assets, Coinbase ETH and USDC. USDC, as we know, have Circle have a close relationship with Coinbase, and we saw recently that Coinbase were phasing out USDT and kind of trying to promote USDC. So we'll see them really grow, and as I mentioned, frictionless DeFi. Now, there are lots of questions that I've heard people saying. Firstly, is there going to be a token? No, they've said clearly that there won't be a token, and so we don't have to worry about that. What token are we using for gas then? Well, this is an Ethereum scaling solution, so we're going to be using Ether. This is bullish Ether really, because more users of ETH. ETH is going to be the main asset on the chain, so yeah. Now, how do Coinbase make revenue from this? Or sequencer fees? I'm sure Optimism and Arbitrum make significant amounts of money from sequencer fees, and so Coinbase will probably do the same. And some of those sequencer fees will go to Optimism, seeing as though they're using the OP stack, and so Optimism will be able to benefit from this as well. And what do we have to do now? Well, the testnet is live already. You can actually go here and connect your wallet on one of the Ethereum testnets and pretty much get started. Now, interestingly, you can see that you can bridge ETH, CB ETH, or wrapped Bitcoin. So you can already see that they're promoting Coinbase Ether, and I think we'll see this really grow. And that's going to be interesting to see how the dynamics of the LSD narrative or the LSD kind of wars change. So that'll be pretty interesting. And then yeah, so you can pretty much bridge over to the testnet and try it out, and I'm sure developers are doing that right now. And so yeah, you can also mint an NFT to celebrate the launch as well. And you can find that on Twitter. There's lots of people. I'll try and leave a link in the description for it as well, for those of you who are interested. And as I mentioned with real world assets, you know, companies like Bakkt are already kind of partnering up with Base, so they will bring real world assets to Base. So it's just a matter of time. What does this mean for the future of Coin or Coinbase, the stock? Well, I don't know. Well, it's a matter of time to see. But you know, one thing I am excited for is really just the growth of layer 2s, but the growth of people using things on chain. I think on chain is where the activity happens. On chain is where all of the fun stuff, all the innovation, and I think I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, go to the Base website and have a read of the documentation here. You can kind of read some of the things that they're trying to do by making Ethereum accessible to everyone, and of course being significantly cheaper than using Ethereum. So yeah, have a read. You can see that they've used the Optimism OP stack, and yeah, that's pretty much all we know so far for Base. Definitely I'll have lots of videos about Base coming out in the near future, especially when it launches, because I think that's going to be an exciting time. It's some big news, a big new player in the layer 2 space. So that's all I've got for you today. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back with more videos very soon.